Hey guys, I just want to start this thing off by basically putting it out there that the Leica Q is a gateway camera. I think that this is one of those things that once you get your hands on it and you start shooting with it, it ruins you because you realize how incredibly beautiful the files are that you can create with a Leica Q. Let's just break it down for a minute here. This is a Leica full frame compact camera, meaning it's a full frame camera, but it does not have interchangeable lenses. So you've got a fixed 28mm lens on here, but it is a 28mm Summilux f1.7. Hello. That is a very fast, very sharp lens. I mean, if you were to just buy a 28mm Summilux f1.7, I'm guessing that would be a few $1,000s just for the lens. Now I know there's plenty of haters out there that think that Leica is just completely overpriced, that you're paying for the red dot, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I don't mind. You know, say whatever you want. But the quality that you can achieve with this camera, this combination, this lens, and this body with that sensor is absolutely stunning. And I am kind of completely floored. The interface is incredibly simple. It's very clean. You know, you got your shutter dial over here. You've got your aperture ring. You can easily pop it into macro. You can easily manually focus. You've got your ISO on the back. You can actually use the screen to change your focus point, so you can use the little pad on the back here. I've got the thumb grip, which I think is an essential thing for this camera because it doesn't really have any kind of a grip, and that really, you know, helps to keep it stable in your hand. So why don't we just look at some of the images that I took the other day. Literally just, you know, the camera came in, I went out for a little walk in the woods and I took a handful of photos, and it just floored me. I mean, anyway, well, let's just jump in there, okay guys? So here we are. This is f1.7, and you know, I just was like, okay, what if I focus, you know, on you know, closely to one, you know, on the railroad tracks here, what was going to happen with the background, okay? Because typically, you know, you don't think, oh, wide angle, you know, you're going to really blow out your background. You think like, okay, you know, maybe if I'm shooting, you know, with a, you know, 50mm or more, but this is a 28mm lens at f1.7, and look at this background. I mean, look at the fall off. It is so beautiful. It reminds me of the film days, you know, the kind of quality. Even this foreground tread here is soft. It's nicely soft. It's pleasing because there is still detail in there. And even as we go down these railroad tracks, you see that there is plenty of detail in there, and the out of focus regions are beautiful. The bokeh reminds me of shooting film. It just has that really nice circular bokeh that you are going to only probably get with this kind of a lens, okay? Now granted, it's not to say that, you know, I can't get really nice out of focus regions with the Canon and whatnot, but Canon does not make a little full frame compact camera that I know about. Anyway, so just for fun, I shot another version of this image and I put my focus point way out here, okay? And you can really see how you've still got plenty of detail leading out there, all right? But very, very, very nice. You know, and we're still at f1.7, okay? We'll get to him in a minute. So let's keep moving on. Here you go. Here's another thing, okay? f1.7, you know, you got insanely beautiful tack sharp detail. I mean, you can see like every little nugget of anything in here. But then if you start going to the out of focus regions, even the fall off that just occurs just naturally, you know, as your eye travels down this log right here, the out of focus regions are just beautiful. It's that circular bokeh, that beautiful, beautiful bokeh from the aperture blades in this camera. Little Chico, look at the little cheeky man. Now granted, I held this thing down low and he moves around a lot. He doesn't like a camera in his face, so I literally kind of just did a quick click. I nailed focus on his chin. But I think he was turning his head, or anyway, I didn't nail focus on him, but I got it on here. But still, you guys can see, look at the out of focus regions. It's kind of ridiculous, and it's thick, it's saturated, it's nice, okay? You know, here's just a shot in the woods, you know, same kind of deal. Beautiful light fall off. It just handles light beautifully. You know, the lens is just, you know, it's just spectacular. Here's another one shot at f1.7. You know, the detail that you have on this This tree trunk is just exquisite. You know, these are just lightly edited. You know, there's nothing crazy going on over here. Again, you know, we're at 1.7, you know, here's like a nice little scene, but you can see like it's a little bit soft in the front until we travel to about this region, okay? I think I put my focus point somewhere over here because I wanted the eye to be led down this trail. And, you know, it's pretty awesome. Now, here's something where I was like, okay, I decided to process this one black and white, but let's look at the before image. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's look at the before image well, okay, here's the, you know what? I'm hitting the V key instead of the backwards parenthesis. Here's the before image, guys, okay? Before image, you can see that this was like, you know, sky was really blown out, it was a little flat, it was kind of neutral, yet it was still, there's plenty of detail. And I shot this one at 4.5 because I wanted to get the entire structure in focus, okay? And then you know, here's the color version. The color version certainly holds up well. I mean, it's a little bit over dramatic, I get that, but I knew that by really, you know, by doing a black and white conversion, that it would be stronger for me, and I love it. I just love it. I think it's just that really sharp, contrasty look that you can get with Leica glass. Here's a macro image, okay? And the detail in the center of the flower is just exquisite. I mean, you've got so much detail in there, and then look at the fall off. I mean, it literally falls right off as you just travel, and you know, you're talking about a macro image, just, you know, one little tiny flower. And here's something cool. This was just, you know, a scene. We were walking along, and it almost looks like cartoony. I don't know. It just came alive. It obviously came alive with the edit, but it's so sharp. There's so much going on right here. And again, you know, if we want to look at the before and the after, there you go, guys. I mean, in fact, I should probably just create a preset for this because it really pops. If any of you guys think that I should create a preset for this, just leave a comment below, and I'd be happy to do it. You know, I found this car sitting in a barn. I stuck my camera through one of the windows was out, you know, and you can just see, you know, we've got the focus here. It falls off as we travel down the car, but the color is beautiful. The color is really accurate. It's really terrific. You know, here's another one where, again, the focus really falls off very quickly when you go from the engine compartment down. Here we go. Here's another shot. You know, I mean, it almost looks lit. It almost looks like a flash went off, but this was just natural light, and the tones are really lovely. You know, you got that really nice, you know, bokeh in the background, and unbelievable for f1.7. Here's a spider's web. You know, you got plenty of detail in there. You know, this is a stream in the background. f1.7, maybe it didn't need an f1.7. You know, maybe that's too much, but this was shot at macro. Let's keep going along here. You know, another example of really beautiful tack sharp at 1.7. Gorgeous bokeh fall off. Really beautiful light fall off. Crisp, great tones. And then I did a portrait of my buddy Brian. Same kind of deal. I mean, tack sharp, okay? You can see, though, that there's fall off, you know, as it travels to the back of his head. And, like, that's the kind of thing that you only get, you know, with I would say, like, more of a telephoto lens. But to be able to achieve that level of fall off with a 28 millimeter lens, I guess, you know, that's just the magic of this thing. Lines are really nice here. I mean, look at that. That is like really very true. I'm shooting with the framing lines on in the viewfinder, which I find really helps me out a lot. The skin tones look great. The detail in the skin looks great. Yeah, I'm really impressed here, guys. So there you go. Leica Q, like it or not, I think it's a gateway camera. I think it's corrupted me. I think that it's made me really want to explore some more options in the Leica realm. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get rid of my DSLR. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop shooting with my Canon. But it does mean that for a creative tool, for a camera to walk around with, I think it's really fantastic. Now, if we want to just do a quick comparison with the X100F, I don't know. Obviously, this is not an apples to apples comparison, okay? For the price of one Leica Q, you can buy, almost 4 X100Fs, or you can buy an X100F, an X Pro 2, and a lens. I mean, you can't really compare. What you can compare is that they're both compact, professional style cameras that have the retro feel with fixed lenses. This has a 35 f2, it's actually 23 millimeter APS-C, but a 1.6 crop, so it's the 35 millimeter equivalent, whereas this is true full frame. And I can tell you that this is not that sharp at f2. I've felt that way for a long time, and I think that especially with the f, with I guess the better guts inside, the better resolving power, I feel that at f2, the X100F is not that sharp at f2. I think it's still a phenomenal camera, so don't get me wrong. I'm still hugely supporting Fuji and what they're doing. I think they're an incredibly innovative company, but the quality that I'm able to achieve with this combination, to me, far exceeds this one. Now, granted, you're talking about a huge difference in price, okay? And it's not just about price, guys. I know that there's plenty of haters out there that are going to say, oh my God, you're just paying for the red dot, blah, blah, blah. Fine. I don't really want to hear it. I'm not going to argue about that kind of stuff. I am going to say that from a shooting point of view, if I were given the choice, I'm going to grab the Leica Q. In fact, I like this thing so much, I don't see a future in the X100 series for me for very much longer or at all. In fact, I think that this thing's probably going to have to go. That's just the way it is. Cameras, they're tools. It's gear. Just because something has good specs on paper doesn't necessarily mean that I want it. It's got to feel good in my hand. I have to love the look of the files, and I can say that this thing absolutely feels fantastic. It's a complete joy to shoot with. It focuses incredibly fast. The viewfinder is incredible. It's so clear. For electronic viewfinder, it's amazing. And the image quality it's just blown me away. So there you go, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll see you soon. Hey guys, this video is brought to you by Squarespace. And as you know, I use Squarespace for my own website. In fact, anytime someone asks me for a recommendation, I always recommend Squarespace. Right now, if you use the code ADAM, you will save 10% on your Squarespace website at checkout.